Hey guys, welcome to another developer log of Cognition, RPG survival game you're tracking. And yes, I wanted to give you a few updates on the game because it's been a while. But trust me, I've been working a lot, especially in the last few weeks on the game. So one of the things is that, let me silent that for you. Um, One of the things is that it went through the very first play testing, which was just one person, a friend of mine, that really likes to play RPGs, old school classic RPGs, turn-based and so on. So he had a very good time, according to him at least, and he played for like about 40 plus minutes of gameplay that there's currently available, which is the introduction and the tutorial map that I usually talk about. And I learned a lot by just taking notes of what he was doing and what he had troubles with. I just help him whenever he got really stuck on something that I either forgot to explain, that I used to explain, then I deleted an event and nothing was to explain that anymore, or whatever. So or just things that I just designed poorly. So I was taking notes all the time, and I got a lot of amazing feedback out of that. And even user theories, which I think are the most important ones, because whenever you add like simulation layers or stuff that are not really that crystal crisp clear as just arcade mechanics, like you go up and you go up, that's it. Since simulation is more like well, this should happen and this is modified by this and so on, it's not that clear. Users come up with their own theories. So one of the theories was like, I don't know, running should increase the body temperature. That was, I didn't even think about it, but that was a kind of fun idea. So I'm gonna be looking into slightly raising your body temperature if you're running, right, and then just make that decay again after you stop running a little bit and stuff like that, to keep you warm because you don't want to get sick. You haven't played the game, but trust me, that's how it works. And then other stuff like, I know, sleeping should recover some energy, and I actually like that idea. I'm definitely gonna put 3 points of energy recovered every hour you sleep, and you can sleep for either 3 or 6 hours, so that's a total of 18 energy out of 100 that you can get. And it's not much, but it's a good fallback to, man, I'm starving and I don't have anything here. This is my last chance. Just go to sleep and recover some energy and then go out and hunt into something. So yeah, all that, it's super helpful. Testing is extremely helpful. I knew it, and I keep saying it. It's super helpful. And past that, well, once I was done fixing all that, I was getting ready to actually do the game, like where you're gonna be spending most of your time. And I was looking into different alternatives on how to design the maps. One of them was kind of like the tutorial map, where you have like main path, and then smaller path that branch off that, so you can explore a little bit, but in the end you're still on the same path. It felt too linear, and I didn't feel like you were really being challenged, because if you were supposed to eventually eat, I would have to provide it for you in the game design. Otherwise, you would starve. That's it. So I'm changing that. I'm making it way more open, in the sense that you can go any of the 4 directions. It doesn't matter. I mean, sure, sometimes you're gonna have to find your way around a mountain or something. It's not that straightforward, but you can go in any direction. There's no actual path. That's pretty much the way I'm going with, at least for now. If testing proves otherwise, but I think it's gonna be great. And you can find resources like, I don't know, shells, or maybe go fishing at the shore, at the beach. But maybe shells are important for making amulets. But for chopping down trees or gathering leaves, or leaves are like a replacement for textiles, or vines, which are a replacement for binding components for whenever you're crafting tools and so on. You're gonna go to a forest, right? But if you want like rocks or maybe mine copper, you have to go and find a cave. So it's pretty interesting, because you kind of know where you should be going, but you don't know exactly where the resources are, and maybe you don't know exactly where to find a cave or whatever. So that's what's going to spice it up. And of course, they have a respawn rate, so you cannot just mine in one place a million times. You have to keep exploring back and forth. And then, of course, trying to settle how you're gonna eat. Basically, right now you can actually plant and do the whole cycle of plant, and the plant grows and then provides fruits and stays there a little bit, and then it eventually dies after a certain time. so the better the conditions are, the more fruits you're going to get out of a single fruit that you used to plant, right? And you can just do this as much as you want, but it costs energy, so be aware of that. You can just abuse of it. But harvesting and planting and farming, it's a great passive, sort of like easy, not easy, but I mean it takes time. It's easy, but it takes time. But a scalable way of having every time more and more resources, because you can plant three, and then after a while you get, I don't know, like 2, 6, 9 out of them, and then you just plant most of them, and then you just keep getting more, but it takes several days. So in the meanwhile you can just be hunting and so on. You're gonna have to be collecting certain resources to do some great works, if you may, to go from the current area to the next one. So you're kind of staying there, right? You're just gonna keep exploring while you're gathering all the resources you need to build that thing, like a bridge, which is the first thing that you're probably going to build. And it takes a lot of resources, a lot of like wood logs and vines and so on. So it's a long-term project, and you have to survive meanwhile. Well, you can finally do that and move on. So that's kind of the mechanics that I'm going with, and I can show it you. I can't show you right now that, but I got most of the mechanics implemented for that. There are many other cool things that I love to show you, but I can't, but are going to be really interesting, especially related to crafting and hunting, because harvesting is one of the ways you can get food, but the others are going to be, of course, fishing. You have to make yourself a fishing rod and so on, and also hunting. You have to make yourself your hunting tools, which are separate from the fighting weapons. You equip them, right? But when you go to battle, you're hunting. You're not going there for the experience. You want to go there for the meat or the resource that creature can give you. So that is done. So you can decide whether you want experience or you want resources, basically, before you go into battle. And then you have to learn how to hunt and so on. So there are like different ways. One is passive, and you can get a lot of them, but through time and being persistent. The others are like more immediate, like just go out and hunt. That's it. You're gonna hunt something. You're gonna get energy from eating whatever you get, or you can cook it maybe if you want. But if not, that's fine. You're just gonna get sick and whatever. But you're gonna have like immediate solutions for getting energy, and then long-term solutions like just getting a lot of fruits and be ready to pack them up and go on a journey and have enough resources to survive through that. Now the game is going to be easy going, as in dying or punishments. If you die after a battle, as for now you're just pulled back to a safe area, right? You have to try to cross again. I was trying to implement you lose part of your inventory punishment, but I haven't decided on that yet. I'm trying to see if there's an area you can't go through, then you just keep getting pulled back because you failed to succeed at the battle. So maybe that's enough punishment. You just don't go through that. I don't know. We'll see after more testing. But and the other punishment is whenever death status. Sorry, when you run out of energy, you're just pulled back to an autosave, way back wherever you were safer or better. And that is done so that because if you don't have enough energy and I just give you 10 again, you can just push through the game like that, or you can just eventually be stuck somewhere. Like, I have 10 energy, but I'm so far from everything. I cannot, I ate all my fruits. I didn't plant them, and I cannot, whatever. So the player will get stuck. So I'm trying to cover that and make sure that doesn't happen. So there are many things to bear in mind, and I don't want the game to feel punishing, or that it has like a very long loop from one error state to the next one. I want this to be a little bit more agile while still feel like you're trying to strive for survival, which is something that I'm starting to feel, and it's great. The feeling of, my God, where I'm gonna find the resources, it's pretty intense. It's pretty cool, especially in this early stage of development. But today I do have something to show you, not much, but I have something to show you, and that is the crafting system, because it's really important in this game. It's not an extra feature, it's crucial, from making the weapons to upgrading them to repairing them. So yes, this is the footage. Alright, let's take a look at the crafting system. By the way, yes, I'm back in the testing area. You can see it has grown a little bit. This is where I test fights. These are my enemies. So yeah, and this is grass for whenever I was testing planning. I can show you that actually. Let me see. Oh, there we go. I got a fruit. There we go. Bam! Got a fruit. That's all. And then you can pour water on it and so on. That hasn't been programmed yet, but this can fully grow, you know, with enough sunlight and rain across the days. I think it takes about a full day to get to full stage, to like full growth stage, and then provide fruit. So yeah. Anyway, but we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you crafting. So we're gonna go to the menu. And yes, indeed, go to crafting. And yes, this is all extremely buggy and halfway done, but let me just show you what you can do with it. So, since you cannot really provide recipes to somebody that is on an island alone, I decided that the best way to do this was to do a kind of discovery process, right? Now, the existing scripts just did not cut it for me. So I had to make my own, like in many things. And this is pretty interesting. So you go ahead and say you select something. And once you do, you can see that automatically most items go like disabled. You cannot use them at all. Except for one, you can see it's a rock. And whenever you do, you see, oh, something happened. All of a sudden you get to see how much resources you're getting from each, and the craft button on the top left showed up, and actually if I go there, it tells me that I can craft a fire pit. It costs 5 energy out of the 93 I got. Oh, the UI is confusing right now, but I'll change it. Don't worry. So I can just craft it. Bam. And now it has been crafted. You can see some of my resources were actually removed. And you only see items that could potentially be used for crafting. If they cannot be used for crafting, see, I gotta... Oh, branch aren't working well. They're supposed to also... Alright, point is, you can also make a fire pit with branches. Alright, that's funny. I gotta fix that. But yeah, so this is the interesting thing, because it helps you realize what you can do with it without having to test every single combination. Order doesn't matter, so you can just select the items and that's it. And you can also compress items. Like say you got the conical shell, and go out and say set of conical shells, and it go compress, and that's a thing. That's also a crafting component. It's not shown here, but because I don't have recipes that can be used with them yet, but you use set of conical shells to build amulets, on which you put tokens later on. But yeah, that is pretty cool. And you can see also weapons are separated. Like each weapon is its own item. It's not a stack of weapons, because they all have their story actually. If you go to, you can see I can swap pages here, and even if it's not clear enough, it says, this weapon fell off the sky, granted to me by the designer himself. That is because the way the character got this item was through, well, cheating, if you may, or just debugging tools. So that's like the story behind it. But it's not just about the origins. It's about what you share, the experiences you share with that weapon while you're equipping it, the battles you fought, how many you fought, and so on. And it's sort of like you start to create this bonding with that particular weapon, more than, you know, any other weapon that is just sitting there in your inventory. So there is more to it than just a simple text, but I can assure you that right now, because, well, it's not there. I mean, I can do the whole thing yet, but you get the idea. And yes, you can befriend a branch if you want. Hey, you're alone in an island, so you know your mind starts to do stuff like that. But also another thing. Yes, by the way, you can see crafting did take some energy off me. You can see I'm at 82 right now. I wanted to show you about the upgrades, the upgrade system that is really cool. So here you got scraps of precision token, right? And I got 9 of them. So basically you can compress these just like conical shells, right? As you see, compress to create a precision token used to upgrade weapons. So you just select it, and you can see already I'm gonna use 3 out of the 9 that I got. So if we go here, we can craft a minor precision token that actually works as an upgrade item. So we're gonna just do that. Here we go. And then we're gonna go to the inventory. And you can see that jewel right here. By the way, these are all placeholder images. Like, this clearly is not okay, but it's not supposed to be a jewel, but oh well. Kind of like it. And you can see it says used to upgrade weapons, also compressed to create a major precision token. So with 3 minor precision tokens, you can make 1 major one. This escalates to about 4 or 5 levels, depending which item you're working with, but yes. So that's a thing. And you gain this by meditating and going to certain meditation events. We're gonna leave that for another episode. So we're gonna use this. All right. So now we get to pick which weapon we wanna upgrade, and we're gonna pick, well, whichever branch. I don't care. There we go. And then if we go to the inventory, we'll see actually we have a branch of precision, and we can scroll through the pages. And now there's gonna be a page talking about the upgrade. Now it just mentions the item that is currently embedded in the weapon. It doesn't tell you the stats that it is going to modify in case you equip it, but you know, that's a beginning. And one more thing that I like to show you is repairing, but for that I need to make some changes, so we're gonna have to cut the video. One moment. All right, we're back, and yeah, so basically if I go to my inventory now, weapons, you can see it says branch damaged. There are different states like scratched or damaged or heavily damaged and so on. It can eventually get broken. The more you use it on battles, the more damage it will get. Now you can just let it go to waste, and you can eventually just use it for, I don't know, you know, put it into a fire pit. We can actually do that, but we're gonna do something different. What we're gonna do now is actually repair one of them. So we're gonna take a repair kit, which again, this is placeholder image, but you can craft these repair kits. So we take it and we go like, all right, I like to fix this guy. There we go. So now if we go to inventory, you'll see this branch is fine and these 2 are damaged, right? So that's basically how it works, how you repair weapons in this game. And that takes, again, 20 energy, so you gotta have energy. If not, you're just gonna have to let your weapon die, pretty much. Anyway, that is all. You saw planting that you were not supposed to do. You just use a special key for it. Right now, like if there's nothing to do there, it just says this. But if you can, it will give you like the options you can actually do in that that particular spot. So depending on the environment and so on. And of course, you got the crafting system, which is quite extent, and with compression of items, with repairing of items, and with upgrade of items. That's what you just saw of this game, even if it's very basic and crude state. Now back to the guide token. But that is all. I'm working hard to get to the next stage of the game, which is gonna be the primary focus of the whole first episode, pretty much. And as soon as I can, I'll be showing you more. But also, I'd like to tell you now there's a website for the game, which currently is cognitiongame.com.ar. I could make it longer, but I didn't really think how to do that. But if I can figure a way out, I'll do it. I'll make it longer. As for now, everything is registered, so cognitiongame.com.ar, and you can click a link in the description, probably, of this video, and you'll be able to see me a little bit more info about the game. Also, I have decided that I will be releasing the first episode on the third quarter of this year, so that will be past July, August, September, you know, somewhere. It's gonna fall later that third quarter, but third quarter. I don't want it to reach the fourth quarter. I'll feel like I'm losing time and I'm just not getting this out there at all. I'll release it incomplete if I have to, just in beta, tag, whatever, but it has to be out there by then. All right, so keep that in mind, and keep following this project if you like it. If you're new, you can just, you know, I don't want to say you you could subscribe. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe. And there's also a Twitter for this, which is Cognition Game. At Cognition Game, you can just go twitter.com/user. No, /Cognition Game. It's just that. Yep, much better. And you can also follow that. I'm just posting things like, hey, I just added this, whatever. It's very casual. It's a very casual Twitter account for now. Everything is very casual because, hey, I don't have a game yet. So I want to keep it more casual and let you feel like you're kind of part in this little adventure of making this game and just giving you the insights, which, later on, if this keeps on growing and going, I won't be able to really do that. I'm going to have to focus more on what the actual game is, and that's it. So, well, that's all. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next video about cognition.